this video has turned out to be way different than I thought. Oh my gosh, Creality Print, what is going on? Hello, welcome to Scratch 3D Printing. Creality has fully released their Creality Print version 5.0. So in this video, I'll be going over Creality Print, and I will also use Orca Slicer to compare to Creality Print. And I feel like in all of my videos, I'm like way too close to the camera. So in this video, I'll try to step back a little bit. So let's scratch to this topic. Okay, before I get into this video of going over Creality Print, this video is not like a hate video to Creality Print or any slicer out there. It's just me, the user experience of using slicer and giving the feedback to you guys and giving my experience to you guys, showing you guys the problem that I face while using this specific slicer. All of the slicer has its up and down, and I also hope that they found this video useful and actually took some of the feedback that we users are experiencing. If you go into Creality Cloud's webpage, you will find that in the software page, Creality has fully released their Creality Print version 5, and it's actually version 5.0.0.8636. That's the version that's fully released to the public. It's not in beta anymore. So we will go and download that and see if all the problems are fixed. I have been using that for the past couple of days and it is quite interesting. So stay tuned for the rest of the video to find out what happened. So like I said, if we go to Creality Cloud, we go to download and then software, come to Creality Print, we can see that right here, Creality Print version 5.8636 is here. So if it's here, then it's definitely fully released. And if we go to the description, it's gonna give us all of the things that was changed in GitHub. I'm not gonna go over this. I'm just gonna go over Creality Print of what I've been experiencing, and we'll see if all the bugs are fixed. Okay, so this is Creality Print version 5. From what I can see here, everything seems very familiar to the version 5 beta. There's just teeny tiny improvements, stuff like that, but on the UI it's the same thing. Okay, so I've been using this for a week now, and the things that I found here are quite annoying to me. It could just be me, but I do think that many of you will find this quite annoying too. So I will be dragging into files that I made. This is what I'm talking about. The first thing that I found that is quite not in my taste is this. If we select all the models, we right click, we pick the bottom portion, it auto-orientate the box to the best position, which has minimum support. Then we right click again, click auto arrange. It does that. It separates these two pieces into two different build plate. So if I were to drag these together like this, it would definitely fit in one build plate, right? As you can see right there. But if we click auto arrange again, it's gonna do that. Why? I don't know. For whatever reason, on Creality Print, the midpoint that other parts are arranging around is the mid piece right here. So I'll be comparing this to Orca Slicer. Now we are in Orca Slicer. I'm using the same 3D printer. It's the ND3V3, if I forgot to mention that. So I will drag in the two same pieces. It will ask you, do you want to load this as a single object? I'll click no, so that it will be separate piece. So Orca Slicer, you don't need to right click anything. You can just click this button up here, auto orient. It will auto orient the piece to the best position. And then if we click this arrange all object, we can select the spacing. So I'm just gonna do 5 millimeters. We can also select these, but I'm just gonna leave it like that. We click arrange, and boom, look at that. These two pieces can fit in one build plate. And Orca Slicer did a really good job. For Orca Slicer, I found that the midpoint is the midpoint, the actual midpoint that the two objects are arranging around. So if we click this button again and we change the spacing to 20 millimeters, we click arrange, look at that. The midpoint is like right here. These two pieces moves accordingly to this midpoint right here. It's not like Creality Print. Creality Print, the midpoint is the piece right here. Even if I move this like this and close the second build plate, I click auto arrange, it's gonna do that the same thing. Even if I click this layout button right here and all model, the model interval, I'll just put it to 2 millimeters. I'll click compile. It still does the same thing, which is quite annoying. because I know that these two pieces can fit in one build plate, but Creality Print does not do that. It will put into two separate plates. So if you want them to be in the same build plate, you just gotta manually do it yourself, or you can just go to this move tool up here and then manually type in the number if you want it to be in the exact same position. So that is the number one thing that I don't really like about Creality Print. It's good, but it's just that the auto arrange is not good. So if we select this, delete it, and if we have something that actually fits in one build plate and it's small enough for Creality Print arrange tool, like this one, it will do that, like that. It will put it very close together, but I feel like this is not balanced at all because this space over here is not being used. And if I do this layout shift thingy, I'll put it to 20 millimeters, click compile, like that. It's moving this piece over here, and this is the 20 millimeter gap. It's not moving according to this middle point right here. It's moving according to this piece right here. So it's arranging this piece with this piece, and I found that is not really the best way to do it. I found Orca Slicer the best way to do it, because if I copy this piece and then go to the spacing, arrange, it's gonna arrange like that. Even if I do another piece like this, arrange, it's gonna do really nicely like that. It separates all the pieces out very nicely, so the build plate is very balanced out. Unlike Creality Print, if I add one more of these in the lid, I will do the layout shift, compile. It's just gonna orientate like that, which is not nice, because if you add brims, right? If you add brims to this, all four parts are gonna be connected together. And let's try making this 10 millimeter and see if it works. Okay, it works, but this is just not good for my liking. I don't know why, but I think it's just not my taste of how Creality Print is arranging all these parts. This is so much better than this, in my opinion. You can use whatever you feel like is the best to you. For me, Orca Slicer's way of arrangement is the best. And the second thing that I found really annoying is printing. So we click slice plate, and then it's gonna take forever to do it. Okay, so it finally sliced the plate, and it looks like one of this is missing. So it looks like I got 3 of this, but when we click preview, one of them is missing. Okay, I never found that a bug, but now that's a bug. What I want to show you is land printing. We select our 3D printer, the KO Max. As you can see, it's idle, so it's just sitting there. We click one click print. This should send the G code to the 3D printer and start printing, but as you can see here, it's going up. We'll wait 100%. Now let's look at the KO Max. Nothing. Wow, great. The exact time where I don't want this to work, it worked. It never ever worked until I started making this video, and it worked. How amazing is that? Whoa, this is so cool. I'm gonna stop the print. And if we look at that, we can see that there are 5 models here. But if we look at the preview, there's only 4 models. Okay, the next thing that I found quite annoying with Creality Print is, if we go up here to the material, we click PLA. That's the nozzle temperature. That's the temperature for the bed. Can anybody tell me how do I change this? I try everything, and I cannot change these 2 temperature. If we click the pencil here, edit, it will bring up this menu. I will even click advanced. If we go down here, recommended nozzle temperature is 240, minimum is 190, so that does not matter. And right here, the printing temperature 220. If I change this to 210, and I even save it, click OK. We go back, and look at that, it's still 220 and then 50. How do you change this? And it's even in the new profile. How do you change this to temperature? I try, and I cannot figure out how to change this temperature. Even if I put all the beds to 40, I change all of that to 40. I will save it. Yes. So weird how the temperature is not working. Like I said earlier, this week I was trying to change the nozzle temperature, and I could not change it now. Look at that. It actually changes. Well, which is odd. This video has turned out to be way different than I thought. When I start recording this video, everything seems to work. But there are other problems arising, like this model here that is gone. And it shows on the Cable Max screen. Oh my gosh, Creality Print, what is going on? And yeah, it happens again. Well, it turns out that this video is way different from what I thought it was gonna be. Because during this past week, like I said before, all of the things that I was showing this video actually fixed itself. The first thing that was annoying to me was the arrangement part, and that is still there. It arranged according to one of the model that's being the mid piece, not the midpoint of the build plate. So that's just not good for me, and it keeps resetting to 1 millimeters. It doesn't save to according what millimeter you set offsets for both of the parts. It just keep resetting to 1. The second thing was the temperature. For the life of me, I cannot get the temperature to change at all. What I do is print and then go to the screen of the 3D printer and change it from there. I could not get it to change. In this video, it actually cooperates with me, and I was able to change the temperature in this video, which is nice now. The third thing was setting the print to the 3D printer itself. For this past week, I could not get it to send to the K1 Max. The end of 3v3, it was fine. It was like 80% of the time working, but the Cable Max was like 0% working. I could not get it to send the print to the Cable Max and start printing. I click print, it sends the G code to the Cable Max. Then I gotta manually print it on the Cable Max screen, and that is very annoying. But today it actually works, which is nice. Oh, and one more thing that I find quite annoying is the advanced part. So every single time you open Creality Print, you need to click this button right here in order to show everything, or in order to enable events. It does not save. I don't know why it does not save. I wish it would be saved so that every single time you open, you don't have to click this extra button here. Creality is kind of like using other slicer and making it their own and put a twist to it. But most of the time it breaks. If Creality actually make it work, it would be very awesome, because they have their own 3D printers lined up and their preset setting are actually really good. If they could just fix all the bugs that are in their Creality Print, it would be very good. I will actually use Creality Print. But like I said, there's just way too many bugs and features that's not working properly. So as of right now, I feel like I'm gonna be sticking to Orca Slicer, but I will still also be testing Creality Print and see what the results I get in the long run, and hopefully they update and make all of those changes so that it's actually a lot better. I just want the arrangement to be a little bit better than it is now, and make it consistently so that every single time you click print, it will automatically print on your 3D printer. I feel like right now it's just like a fluke, because it never works, and it just worked for this video, which is great. But that'll be it with this video of me checking out Creality's officially released Creality Print version 5. It's a really good slicer. It's just have these small teeny tiny problems that could be fixed. And one big thing that I want Creality to add to their slicer is fluid interface, because that is so good. You can control everything from there. You can check all the files, you can add a G-code and stuff like that. If they add that to Creality Print, it's gonna be so good. But that'll be it for this video of me checking out Creality Slicer or Creality Print version 5.0. And I will keep continuous testing and keep you guys updated in the future. So thank you so much for watching, and as always, keep on 3D printing.